How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
You ready?
Great. Okay, let me see if I can do this properly. Okay, good. Now I can see what I'm gonna show you. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm sitting in here because I've got the cat picture behind me.
Oh,
And
it's beautiful.
in here I have two cats, which I'm hoping they're gonna make an appearance as well.
I can call my cats. They can do a special appearance.
We definitely need some cats in here.
Yes, definitely. Everybody should have a cat.
Absolutely. How are you doing? You look tanned. You look well.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been to the beach.
Great.
So tell us a little bit about Nine Lives, the work of Nine Lives, and about you.
I will. Here's Pixar.
Hi, Pixar. Oh, she's gorgeous. Hello.
This is he made the right start. Okay, so he might actually block the picture a bit. Sorry.
That's all right. You can block the picture.
So I'm Cordelia Madden-Kanellopoulou. I'm one of the co-founders of Nine Lives. We started Nine Lives in 2006, and we became an official organization in 2008. And the reason why we started Nine Lives was because there wasn't actually any other charity that was working specifically for cats. There was a municipality that was doing various neutering programs for dogs in the center of Athens. There were other organizations that were working for dogs, and some that were working for dogs and for cats. But inevitably in those cases, the bulk of the funding and the time inevitably really goes to dogs because they're so much more visible, they're so much more expensive to do any kind of surgical procedures with. So we decided, and it was also our area of expertise. We're all great cat lovers, and we know a lot about them. So we decided to focus specifically on cats.
I see. That's great. When was it founded? When did it start?
Well, we started in 2006, but we became an official society registered under Greek law in 2008.
Oh, that's great. So what do? You do spaying? Do you do take the cats to the vet with the help of the volunteers? What else do you do?
Absolutely. So our absolute main function is to do neutering and spaying. We do what is called TNR, trap, neuter, return. Because this is what we absolutely believe, and it's backed up by the World Health Organization, that this is the only humane and effective way to reduce overpopulations of stray animals. So this means that basically you are reducing the numbers of unwanted stray kittens or puppies that will be born on the streets, that will suffer on the streets, that will die on the streets, but you are also improving the quality of life of the adult animals because they are not exposed to sexually transmitted diseases. They are not exposed to various forms of cancer which happen only in unsterilized animals. They are at much less risk of injuries from fights. And they are also at much lower risk of being run over by cars because they tend to be more stable, they're not being chased, they're not chasing. So basically you're improving the quality of life of the animals themselves while reducing the numbers of animals being born that are only adding to the overpopulation on the streets.
Oh, you do a great work.
That's our main effort aim is neutering, trap, neuter, return, bring them back to the places where they were living. We are working with colonies of cats, groups of cats that are gradually all neutered and spayed and are healthier and have a better quality of life. The residents in the areas have a better quality of life as well. This is something which is really important. It's something that we always focus on, and we are told by so many people who live in areas where we are active that their quality of life is vastly improved because they're not having these caterwauling fights all night and male cats going after the females, kittens being found on the streets and no one knowing what to do with them. So that's the main thing. We also, obviously, if we find cats that are ill or injured in the areas where we're active, we take them to the vet. If we find cats or kittens that for whatever reason simply cannot survive on the streets, maybe they're handicapped, maybe they're blind, maybe they're deaf, maybe they're three-legged, maybe they are straight from a home, maybe they're very, very young, maybe they're very, very old. Those ones, we try our very best to take them into foster care and find good homes for them.
Oh, that's great. That is a lot of work. You must have millions of volunteers.
Well, we have a very amazing team of very dedicated volunteers who really believe in what we're doing and would go to the ends of the earth to help cats. It's a small team, but there is a larger group of people who help in other ways. Maybe they're not active on a day-to-day basis in terms of feeding or trapping or taking cats to the vet, but there are people who help us at our bazaars. There are people who help us in creative ways, in administrative ways, because it's a very big job. It's like running a business, but without the profit, let's say. So there's without the financial profit. Of course, there's the emotional profit. But there's an awful lot of things to be doing, to be making fundraising efforts, to be doing appeals, to be creating merchandise, to be answering emails, phone calls, messages. So there are people who might not be helping in a hands-on way in terms of every day out there with the cats, but are helping in other ways which are equally valuable.
If people want to help this charity, how can they contact you? Would you please after send me the mail and to contact or a telephone number, and I can put it under, so they should contact, so everybody can help the charity with one way or another.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, people can help in so many different ways. There's actually, if you go onto our website, which is www.9livesgreece.com, I can send it to you as well, that you can actually, one can find a volunteer form on there, which someone can fill in and say, how they might be available and how they might like to help. And, even someone who is only here for a short time, they could maybe foster for a short period of time. They could maybe come and help us feed for a short period of time. If someone's here long term, but their house is absolutely full of cats and they say, I don't want any more cats, they can join us for feeding or trapping. Maybe someone's very creative, but they cannot actually touch cats because they are allergic. That person could help us with making items for our bazaars, for creating merchandise, for setting up the bazaar stalls. There's just numerous ways that people can help.
Great. You're from a foreign country. If you compare what's happening in Greece and how it's in a foreign country, are the strays in a better situation in another country? Like in the UK, are they better treated, or they need the people to help also, or they have official places where they're taken to?
Well, it's a very different situation in the UK. It's also, I've lived also in the former Yugoslavia, in Bosnia, in Cyprus, and each country has its own issues and its own problems. Sadly, every country has stray and unwanted, abandoned animals. It's everywhere. It's more or less in some countries, but it's a problem that is worldwide. Looking at Greece in particular, I think there are a couple of reasons why there are so many stray animals in Greece, and one of them is a reluctance to sterilize them. Now, this could be due to a feeling of kind of freedom and live and let live, and not depriving them of their sex life, and anthropomorphizing in that way, but yet not anthropomorphizing in the putting the unwanted kittens in the rubbish bin. So that's one of the issues, and I think that we can't only say that this is people being ill-educated or just plain silly. It's also that it wasn't always very easy to get animals sterilized. I mean, if you're talking about you're feeding a group of stray cats, first of all, it's not necessarily easy practically to catch them. And secondly, financially, it might not be easy to afford to get them all spayed, especially if your local vet is not offering any kind of discount and is just like, well, it's €100 to spay a cat and you've got 30 of them. So you say, I can't do it. So one of the things that Nine Lives do is we really try to help people practically as much as possible in terms of finding vets who can do good prices, decent, honest prices for stray animal care, for neutering, for spaying, trying to help them with getting the right equipment. We lend out traps, we lend out dropper cages. And also financial help if and when we can. I mean, if there's someone who's really in a dire situation but is absolutely trying to do their best for the animals, if we can, we help them. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason I believe why there's so many stray animals on the streets of Athens is also the climate. Because don't forget that it's a very mild climate here. So for example, in Bosnia, where I lived for a short time, animals die in the winter because it's really cold. That doesn't happen here. And the mild climate and the long days and the sunshine mean that, especially when we're talking about stray cats, and they always have a source of food. The bins are open. There's a lot of rubbish. So they are eating well. There's a good climate. So they're having multiple litters, and more of those litters are surviving, so that the population is just growing and growing and growing. So those are two reasons why there are many stray cats on the streets. And in terms of addressing that, I think that the shelter model, which is the UK, any stray animal, abandoned animal goes to a shelter. That can't work in Greece, at least for cats now, because the education level is not there. You're not going to have enough rehoming to ever catch up with the intake of animals going in. So you would just end up with a shelter that's getting fuller and fuller and fuller of animals. It's an expense. It's not even pleasant for the cats being in there because they don't like being enclosed with hundreds of them, because I mean we're talking about hundreds or thousands of animals that would be being dumped there or being picked up and put in shelters. So it's just not practical. The only practical way is trap, neuter, return. That's all that we can all do, and try to find homes as much as possible, good homes, and just keep neutering, keep neutering, keep neutering.
Oh, great. Great ideas here and good information that mainly people don't know about this. Like Greece is in an economic crisis right now, and I've seen many people abandoning dogs. Have you seen people abandoning cats also because they think they cannot care for them?
Oh, yes. A lot of abandoned cats now. And because a lot of us are non-Greeks in our organization, we tend to get a lot of contact from and with the international community here, or people who would, are globally thinking. So what we specifically at Nine Lives get is a lot of people contacting us saying, I no longer have work in Greece, I can no longer live in Greece, and I need to go back, and I'm going to get rid of my cat or my cats. So we try to help people with as much practical advice and help as possible to show them ways that they can actually move with their animal. There are European pet passports. It's really quite easy and quite affordable to take your animal with you. I mean, for us, giving up your animal is like giving up your child. It's an absolute last resort. If you can't just say, well, I don't have the money to look after my cat now. If there are so many cheaper ways that you can feed your cat if you're really struggling, and there are many people in Greece who are really struggling, bless them. But most of those people, if they love their animals, they find a way.
Yes, definitely. You do so much work with spaying, trap neutering, and releasing. You're good.
Pixar's just but he's not on the
The
screen.
main actors left. They want their rights.
He's just wait. Let me see if I can show you where he is. Pixar,
Hi, darling.
can you see him?
Yes, yes. Oh, he's in the sun.
There's
The thing
a
with
tiny
cats,
hippopotamus.
they're happy. They're always happy. They need a little bit of food, water, and just four walls, really. They don't need super luxurious things. You do so much work with trap neutering, neutering and releasing, and also giving food. Where do you get all the where do you get all the money to do that?
Well, we do a lot of fundraising events. We're very active. We tend to do about 7 fundraising events every year. We also do campaigns and appeals online through our website, through our mailing list, through our Facebook page. And we are truly blessed to have the support of amazing friends and family and supporters and people all around the world who are helping.
Oh, good.
A lot of times it's people who've been to Greece, they've been to Athens on holiday, they found a stray cat that was in need, they've contacted us, and then we've tried to help, we've kept in touch, and we've built a relationship. So it's kind of two-pronged approach. It's donors and fundraisers.
Great. Tell me a little bit more about your fundraising events. Where is it? When they happen?
So we're actually in the final throes of preparing our next fundraising event, which is taking place this Saturday, the 19th of May. It's called Shop and Spa Saturday. It's actually an event that we've been doing for the last 7 years. It used to be called Ladies' Day, but then we decided to rebrand it to make it a little bit more inclusive because there are also many gentlemen who like to be pampered and preened. And so basically this event is like... it's like a spoil yourself, treat yourself day. And you can do it all with a clear conscience because you know that every single cent that you spend there goes straight into helping stray cats through food, through veterinary care, through neutering. So we have the help of various amazing, kind, generous, talented people who offer their services at this event. So massage, manicure, hairstyling, and a customer can come in, book in, do one of those or several of those, do some shopping. We have fantastic unworn, labeled items for sale.
Wow.
We also have some gently used, let's say, and accessories as well. We have wonderful food. We have the help this year of a vegan caterer who is called Veganopoulou. And she's going to be doing the catering. We're also going to have home-baked all kinds of cakes and cupcakes and things, and wine from Stropila. So it's actually just a really fun day to do a bit of shopping, do a bit of pampering, and raise money for the stray cat. And of course, this year we're coinciding with the royal wedding for people who care about such things. Prince Harry is marrying Meghan that day. So we're also having a little sort of a sub-theme going on, which is like princess for a day. So you can spoil yourself, you can enjoy cucumber sandwiches and Union Jack flags and a cup of tea and feel like you're part of it.
Oh, great. Where is it going to be?
So it's going to take place in Pangrati, Empedocleos 26. It's the Arcadia College there. And that's where we usually do our events because it's very central. It's relatively easy for people to find, and it's a really nice venue. It's large, it's light filled, it's got different spaces for different activities, so it's really good.
Oh, so it's this Saturday, 19th of May?
Exactly.
From what time to what time? Because last event that you did, I arrived about 2 hours late and it was closed.
So in fact, usually our bazaars only take place in the morning. The doors tend to open at 10 and there's usually a queue of people outside waiting to get the best bargains, and we tend to close around 2 o'clock because, to be quite honest, by that time we are all exhausted because it's really full on. But this event, because it's a bit different, it's got the services as well, people need time to do the appointments. We open at 11 and we continue until 5 o'clock.
Oh, great. Oh, great. So it's going to be in Pankrati and Empedocleos. What number again?
En Bedoveños 26.
26 from 11 to 5. Oh, thank you. I'll be there. Everybody should go.
Absolutely. It's really going to...
So everything in the bazaar is going to be volunteer. No money in the... Oh, that's great.
Yes. Yeah. No one is paid in our charity.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I hope everybody comes to your bazaar. I'll see that you're there, and let's share this video so people know what's happening.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kathy. It was really lovely to talk to you, and thank you for promoting 9 Lives.
Oh, you're welcome. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about your work and what happens in other countries.
We didn't get through all the questions.
What?
Yes,
but you know, I think you knew them by heart because you really covered everything in about 20 minutes.
Super, super. Thank you very much. Let me bring Pixar to say goodbye.
Yes, let's finish with Pixar.
Oh, he's so hot from the sun.
Bye, Pixar. Bye.
Bye. He's from Ammonia Square. He was left.
Oh, he's better there than Ammonia Square, I bet.
4 of them, 2 of them died, and Pixar and his sister were left. But you can see that he's lost an eye from his early experiences.
Oh. Thank you, Cordelia. Have a lovely bazaar. See you then.
See you on Saturday.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.